Business news now on the programme. We're starting, in fact, with the end of era at Twitter, and Cole Stangler is here to tell us a little bit more about it, Cole.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart. Founder Jack Dorsey stepping down from his role as CEO at the company. 45-year-old helped launch Twitter back in 2006, turning it into one of the world's most iconic social media platforms. Though his tenure has not been without controversy. While it's now valued at some $37 billion, Twitter has faced criticism over lagging growth and its handling of free speech. Thorny issue epitomized by the ban of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Dorsey's being replaced by the firm's chief technology officer, Parag Agrawal. He inherits a complex legacy, as Nick Rushworth reports.
Forcing every business to behave the same reduces innovation and individual choice.
He is an eccentric, wizard-bearded tech pioneer. Jack Dorsey's dream of sparking conversation in the noughties led to a leading online platform, Twitter. One of the bugbears in his role as CEO has been how to handle rogue tweets. He chose to close President Donald Trump's Twitter account after the siege of Congress.
And that is why we updated our civic integrity policy to address misleading or disputed information that undermines confidence in the election, causes voter intimidation or suppression or confusion about how to vote, or misrepresents affiliation or election outcomes.
The last 6 years have been tough for Dorsey, with investors critical of Twitter's slow growth and saying he lacked focus. He offered no specific reasons for quitting, apart from saying the company should end its dependence on company founders. In his resignation letter, which he of course tweeted, he said, "There's a lot of talk about the importance of a company being founder-led. Ultimately, I believe that's severely limiting and a single point of failure. I've worked hard to ensure this company can break away from its founding and founders." Dorsey's decision to go is seen as a good move by one business analyst.
I think there's a natural tendency to want to hold on to your baby and guide it and shape it. But it's a very different role, coming up with the idea in the first place and refining it in its very earliest years and then running it.
Dorsey remains on Twitter's board till his term expires next year and stays on as CEO of the payments company Square. His replacement is former Twitter chief technology officer Parag Agrawal, who will have to step out from his techie background and deal with those social and political issues that Twitter is struggling with.
Well, turning now to some of the day's trading action. Major European indexes are off to a rough start. Investors taking in comments from the head of Moderna. He said vaccines are likely to be less effective against the Omicron variant than against earlier strains of COVID. As you can see here, the CAC 40 posting losses of 1.3%, red as well on the FTSE and the DAX over in Frankfurt. Some pretty heavy losses on some of the major Asian markets as well, red across the board in Tokyo, Seoul, and in Hong Kong. Some slight gains we're seeing in Shanghai. That's after data showed an unexpected growth in Chinese factory activity this month. Well, the airline EasyJet says it's too soon to judge the impact of Omicron. The low-cost carrier reported pre-tax losses of 1.3 billion euros for the year ending September. It's not as bad as expected. It also pointed to an encouraging start to the current financial year, boosted by strong demand for winter travel and summer bookings. The London-based firm says it expects to return to pre-COVID flight levels by the end of 2022. Well, next up, U.S. President Joe Biden hosted the heads of several major retailers at the White House on Monday. They discussed supply chain problems ahead of the busy holiday shopping season. Taking part online, the head of Walmart said things were improving over the last 4 weeks. The country's biggest retailer says it's seen a 26% hike in shipping containers going through ports, particularly in Southern California.
So while we're all concerned about the supply chain, we have more inventory than we did a year ago and have the inventory that we need to be able to support the business. We are seeing progress. The port and transit delays are improving. As you and I discussed not long ago, about 2/3 of what we sell in the United States is made or grown here. That other third has a meaningful portion coming from Canada and Mexico, which is helpful. For the part that comes outside of North America, the port issue has been a big issue, but we've really seen a lot of improvement.
And finally, it's a sale that's turning heads and not necessarily for the best reasons. The firm Republic Realm calls itself a real estate developer for the metaverse, a form of the internet grounded in virtual reality. Well, days ago, it sold a mega yacht in the video game The Sandbox for the price of $650,000. The boat is called the Metaflower. It features 2 helipads, a jacuzzi, and a dance floor, and is designed to be, quote, the crown jewel of the game. It's also one of many luxury items sold by the firm Stewart. There are other private islands and villas also up for sale in the game, though. Again, it really should be stressed, none of these actually exist in the real world.
Very strange. I can't get
The
through.
metaverse.
Too much. Thanks very much, Cole Stangler, with the business news here on France 24.